Okay, hi everybody. My name is Don Burrows. I am a resume strategist, I'm a workshop leader, and I'm the author of several do-it-yourself resume writing workbooks, one of which is this one. Can you see that? There. How to Get Interviews, Stop Sending Job Search Junk Mail, and also of its companion workbook, which is this. How to Win Your Inner Game, Update Your Attitude Before You Update Your Resume. This is my welcome video to the inauguration of my new site, which is called behaviораlinterviewresumes.com. I put up the site for two reasons, and the first is to help job seekers who are currently being ignored by recruiters begin to win interviews for work that they've already proven they can do. And the second is to help you become comfortable and effective in behavioral interview situations. If you're a college grad, a recent college grad, and you're looking for your first job, or perhaps you are a returning veteran coming back into the workforce, or you're a boomer coming back into the workforce, or you're a solopreneur or a freelancer and you're looking for gigs, it's very possible that you find the market difficult right now, and it's very possible that you are ignored by recruiters for work that you have proven and you know you can do. I've been a resume strategist for over 35 years, and for 18 of those years I was a hiring manager and I was an in-house recruiter. I know where you've been, I know what you're feeling, because I too have been laid off and ignored for work that I was able to do. One of the main things I've come to realize over the years is that 90% of job seekers, solopreneurs, groups of folks who are looking for work, who are qualified for the things that they are seeking but not getting interviews, tend to believe that there's no work and that nobody's hiring. I am here to tell you that that's not true. And the people whose resumes and cover letters you'll see under the Real Resumes section of the website would attest to that as well. Whether in good economies or bad economies, this process I'm going to describe to you works. It makes you an ideal candidate and it gets you interviews. I've learned that there are really two choices that determine the success or the failure of your job search, and they're both under your control. The first has to do with what's called your inner game. Your inner game is how you choose to see yourself. It's your emotional stability, it's your emotional strength, it's your job search courage, your commitment to yourself, and your commitment not to give up on yourself. You either have it or you don't. If you do have it, it'll lead you to job search success. The second is your outer game, and your outer game is your resume and it's your cover letter. They can be generic or they can be customized. What I'm going to teach you here is how to stand out using customized credentials rather than blend in like so much forgettable fettuccine, let's say, when you use generic resumes. If you use generic resumes, you're guaranteeing yourself to be overlooked and ignored continually by recruiters. You have the choice to either win your outer game and your inner game or to lose them. It's your choice. If you stand out, you choose to stand out, the image I like to use is you become the meatball on top of a plate of generic spaghetti. The spaghetti is like all of the different generic resumes. They all blend in, the recruiter has no reason to call them. But if you are a custom resume but if you are a custom resume, the meatball, you stand out as an ideal candidate, and recruiters will call you. People who use generic resumes follow what I call the boilerplate herd. They pay attention to what they say, specifically that the resume can only be 2 pages max because nobody will read anything more, and that it has to follow the reverse chronological format, what I call dates and duties, because that's what HR wants. Well, in point of fact, it doesn't, and you'll see examples in the Real Resumes success stories on my site. What it does do when you do it like that is you make it very easy for HR to screen you out. and you make it easy for recruiters to ignore you. It's impossible to present yourself as an ideal candidate using a generic resume. Cut that, please. So, in summary of this first half, around the standing out like an ideal candidate, you may be a 100% perfect ideal candidate, but if you can't get the interview, it won't matter because you'll be passed over. So your education and your experience won't matter at all. Let me say a word or two about behavioral interviewing as well. Companies, more and more companies, are using behavioral interviewing to identify the specific requirements of each job that they're looking to fill, and then to use those criteria, the requirements of the job, to screen potential candidates in or out. They want to make sure that you've had the experience to deal with the situations you'll likely face if you get hired for that job. They kind of develop a line of questions along the lines of, tell me about a time when you fill in the blank, maybe when you faced a number of challenges and you hung in there and you succeeded and you finished the task. Applicants who have chosen to take the time to identify their accomplishments and skills do really well in behavioral interviews because they have something tangible and specific to talk about. They can present themselves as ideal candidates. They oftentimes then move to the candidate slate, leaving the applicant pool people down here, and they get hired. Conversely, people who have not taken the time to present themselves in terms of their accomplishments and skills remain in that applicant pool way down here, and eventually you can drown in the applicant pool because you end up settling for whatever you can get. So you'll find a lot of different things on my site here that'll help you to present yourself as an ideal candidate, to help you get called by recruiters. I hope you'll take some time to browse around it, particularly look at the Real Resumes section up there at the top of the bar, and read the resumes and the cover letters and the stories of the people who are presented. I hope you'll sign up for my blog as well, and I hope you'll also sign up to participate in my free webinar that's coming up in January, and it's called 3 Huge Mistakes Job Seekers Make that Keep Them Invisible, Irrelevant, and Ignored by Recruiters. It's a lot of words. So I'd like to thank you for your time and to encourage you to open a dialogue and some communication with me. I would ask you to please click the link below, and when you do, I'll be happy to send you this, which will help you expedite your process. And it's an overview of how to get interviews, stop sending job search junk mail. So until we connect face to face or ear to ear or in a webinar, please remember, be the meatball, not the spaghetti. Thank you.